But yeah, I ended up hosting the Sword Art Online panel who had this...
It's the most gone sentence.
Oh my God, yeah.
Ended up hosting the Sword Art Online panel, which that also ended up well. One thing that's, another part of it that was cool was we had the meeting beforehand where one of the producers was like, so we had to introduce one of the producers who had flown all the way from Japan, and he was like a little bit nervous. He was like, we were in the pre-meeting and he was like, just jokingly, he was like, it'd be cool if the crowd shouts out like GGO or something, or chants GGO, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And like me hearing that, being on tour, I know that get enough people in the room, and all you need to do is just they will follow anything you say.
Yeah.
With enough.
You just need to pull the trigger.
If you say it with enough confidence and enough energy in your voice, people will want to follow what you are saying. Yeah. So I had this really cool moment where I didn't tell him I was gonna do it, but I'm like, it wasn't on the script, but I'm like, I'm gonna get them to shout out GGO.
Hell yeah.
And managed to get them shouting GGO when he came on stage, and he genuinely, I think he had this moment where he was like a little bit nervous to genuinely just feeling himself
at home
on stage, which is how you want to make.
Yeah, of course. That's what you're supposed to do as a host.
Unnatural for I think most people to be on stage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's there like, how much did you pay them?
It's always good when you get to like do a panel about like stuff that you consume a lot as well. I think it definitely helps feeding off the energy, especially if you have a history with the property or whatever it is as well.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Oh my God, I also remembered a very cringe thing that happened. That when you were talking about cringing, I was like, oh no, I unlocked this.
I unlocked a memory.
When we were having dinner with Daisuke Ono, he was talked a little bit about JoJo. Obviously, I had to tell him big JoJo fan.
Sure.
And he did do some lines, which was kind of pog.
Yeah.
It's kind of pog. Anyway, we were chatting and we were talking, and I'm trying to focus, but I'm also trying to eat and drink. And he says something. He's talking about Joseph, the voice actor for Joseph, who I don't know the name of.
Sugita Tomokazu, I believe.
Yeah. Well, he'd passed away not too long ago, I believe. Joseph. Old Joseph.
Oh, old Joseph.
Old Joseph.
Right. Young Joseph is Sugita Tomokazu.
Yeah, sorry. Old Joseph.
Very alive.
Old Joseph. Old Joseph.
Okay.
Who passed away. But I didn't know that. We were talking, and he was like, yeah. And he said in Japanese, oh, yeah, it was, we used to get beers all the time. But, I'm just happy we got to have that memory. And then I thought he was like, yeah, we get beers all the time together. And so I went, oh, dude, that's sick. Sugoi. Like, yeah. Awesome. And then he looked at me like, I was like, nani? And then he explained. I was like, oh, shit, fuck, my bad. Shit. I didn't mean to be like, that's sick. Fuck. And
because his POV, it's like, he passed away. Yo, that's sick as fuck.
I was like, damn, that's so good. I was like, that's so cool, man. That sounds so fun. And he's like, what?
It's like he literally just died.
But no, he understood that I misunderstood. So but it was cringe for me. I was like,
I had an interesting panel at AX where I finally met TheAnimeMen's.
Oh, you did.
I got invited to be on.
We've all met them.
Yeah, I hadn't yet. So I finally met TheAnimeMen's. They were having their own panel at AX, and they asked me to be like a special guest, I guess, for one of their segments. So I was like, all right, yeah, sure. It should be fairly easy. So I'm backstage with them. They're all really nice guys, by the way. Super chill.
Yeah, super chill.
There is also, I've never felt more like a dad in my life because I was very easily the oldest one there. Like, it wasn't even close. Because all these dudes, I'm pretty sure, like, all the anime men are, like, in their, like, late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
Right? And the guests that they also had, there was a couple of other, like, YouTubers or, like, TikTokers or whatever it was, who were also very, very young, right? So there's at least like a 10-year gap between me and everybody else who was there. So I'm trying to like talk and get to know them and have a conversation, but there is clearly a massive generation gap.
Well, uncle over here, bro.
Yeah, I was literally like the old uncle. I was the drunk uncle that showed up to the party,
Yeah.
And backstage I met another YouTuber called Anthpo.
I know where this is going.
And like I've seen a couple of his stuff in the past. He made some funny skits at the time.
Yeah.
And so and like I recognized him, and I was like, yo, Anthpo, right? Like, I've seen your stuff. And he looks at me, and his eyes just light up and he's like, yo, Joey, it's been so long, bro. And I was like, has it?
Oh no. Oh no.
I didn't say this out loud, right?
No.
I was like, yeah, man, yeah. It's been a while, bro. And then he was like, yeah, yo, I don't know if you remember me that much, man, but we met at like so-and-so party and like we chatted for a bit and, you know, it's great to see you, man. Hope you've been well, blah, blah, blah. I found out after the panel, he was getting me and Gant mixed up.
So
He had met Gant before at this party. He thought it was me.
So Joey, like, so I was talking to Joey and he was like, yeah, Anthpo said he met me before at a party. I don't understand that. And I was like, I've met Anthony Poe at the party before.
Yeah.
It was at the VidCon party.
Yeah, it was VidCon. Yeah. He said, yo, I haven't seen you since VidCon. And I was like, I've never been to VidCon.
This has happened a worrying amount of times.
It has.
Like people have mixed you up.
So I thought he was like fucking with me the whole time, and or like maybe like I had forgotten, or like he had like confused VidCon for some other convention.
Okay,
so I was
okay.
like, maybe I have. He literally gaslit me into thinking that I'd met him before. So I was just like, yeah, I think yeah.
Well, to be fair, we meet a lot of people.
We do.
No, we
meet a lot of
do.
people.
Like,
I forget a lot of
Look,
people.
yeah,
This isn't shade at all.
No.
This
Not
is
at
this
all.
is just a funny story.
Anthony,
Yeah.
if you're watching this, you're a really nice guy. We had a great conversation. I thought it was just really funny
Yeah.
that you got Gart and I confused,
Anthony,
which happens a lot.
I do remember meeting you at VidCon. I remember the exact conversation we had.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But it was just so funny. He had this utmost confidence, being like, "Yo, it's been so long, bro," and I'm like, I didn't have the heart to be like, "I've never met you, bro."
This is the first time we've met.
And so I went on this panel. I hosted like one of their, I guess, like game shows that they did at where they were like guessing anime openings or whatever it was, right? And I was supposed to be like the judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like again, this made me feel like such an old uncle, because the vibe of everybody else and the vibe of the crowd was just completely different to the way that I would normally do it. Yeah. So much so that I think I said like 3 things at that panel. Like I literally showed up, I stood behind like those like speech desks or whatever they're called. Yeah. And, you know, as a judge position. And I thought it was my job to be like, you know, that's correct or that's incorrect or like, here's the next one, you know, be like the host for the game.
Yeah.
Nope. I literally just stood there while the Anime Men boys who were sitting at the front were just like hosting the entire thing. And I'm literally just, the entire panel, I'm literally just standing there like this, just looking at the contestants and then maybe sometimes going like, and that was my entire job. And I was there for like 30 minutes. And then they were like, all right, thank you, Anime Man, for that. And I was like, oh, all right.
They brought out the uncle for just to bring him out.
Yeah, it's like, all right, thanks,
Get him some
Uncle. You
fresh air,
can,
get him some fresh air.
you can go smoke a cigarette
So
now.
did you pass the baton over? Being like,
I mean, I guess so, because like, you know, I mean, to be fair, they did have a big crowd. And so clearly they do have like the massive fan base. And, you know, to a lot of these like younger generations, of anime.
It's a totally new audience.
Oh, no,
isn't it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
It literally, like I was saying to my handler, like it did kind of feel like the next generation of anime fans, I guess, because like a decent amount of the people in the crowd knew who I was. Like they like screamed when I came onto stage.
Who's his uncle?
Yeah, but
Who's his old fuck?
there were clearly some people in the crowd who were like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" You know, I was like, "Why does he have such a similar name to my favorite content creators?" So that made me feel very old. So yeah, shout out Anime Man, I guess. The Anime Man and the Anime Men finally met up, and
Should have this like My Hero Academia moment where you're like, "You're next." You're taking. Yeah.
I think Anthpo is at the end of my cyclothon.
is he?
Oh, was he?
Am
Was
I
he in
thinking
Japan?
Am I thinking about the right person? Let me just double check.
He got famous off of doing like a lot of like parody skits of like TV shows and stuff. I watched his like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a really funny coincidence. Jaden and Alfarad and Anthpo were all there in Japan.
Right.
Just so happened to go to Tokyo Tower the day that I'm finishing my thing, bump into Emily. They're like, Emily's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, we're just going to Tokyo Tower." She's like, "Oh, I'm waiting for Connor's cyclothon to finish."
Right.
So when I finished my cyclothon, and I do it, and then like Alfarad and Jaden are like, "Yo, what's up, Connor?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "I gotta go," but like, what the fuck? And they were there as well. Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, damn."
Weird.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that was my AX experience.
Yeah. Well, you saw the premiere of Dandadan as well.
I did. I
Right.
did see the premiere
How
of
was it?
Dandadan.
How was it?
Oh my god. I mean, everyone who was at that premiere will know, but it was one of the most insane first episodes I've ever seen.
Was it?
It was so goddamn
Absolute
good.
cinema?
Like,
Hands
dude,
up?
it
Hands
was
up, absolute?
fucking cinema.
All right,
It was
absolute cinema.
They went so hard with this first
So
episode.
Science Saru cooked.
Oh
in this
my
one?
god, they were chefing.
They've
They
never not cooked.
They never
that's
knock.
true.
I knew, like, I was like, when I saw Science Sarah, I was like, they're gonna chef this, obviously, and they did, because like, yeah, everyone in that crowd was. I mean, it was a huge premiere too.
Where was it?
It was in the main hall where we did the Honkai thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there was like easily, over or close to 2,000 people in this room watching this premiere. And it was, oh my god, I'm so excited for it. It's so fun.
Because I think this is their first shonen
Yes.
adaptation, right? Because
Yeah.
normally they do some of the more of the
weirder
weirder
ones,
shows.
yeah.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
hyped for it.
It's
When
so
does it come out?
I think it's next
Next
season.
season.
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
next
Well,
season it
excited
comes
for
out.
it. Excited
Yeah,
for it.
so
Excited for
Yeah,
that.
because I would have gone to more premieres if if my
Had time.
Yeah, if,
I want to go to the ReZero one.
me too.
Yeah.
Fucking go.
They had an entire like 90-minute premiere.
I'm so jealous people got to
Yeah.
watch that, dude.
What the hell, man? Yeah.
I wish I could have gotten that one.
I'm wondering what that premiere was like because that guaranteed was like packed
Oh,
as
of course,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
The con itself, though, I feel like because they'd spread it out more this year, there's a lot more stuff going on outside of the main convention hall.
Yeah,
When I
it
was
did feel
walking
like there was like
around-
less people.
I think there's the same amount, but I think they shuffled people outside. Because when I was walking around the convention hall, I didn't feel like it was as bad as previous years.
Yeah.
Because normally AX is, obviously, it's the biggest anime convention
shoulder,
in the world.
Yeah.
I think it's like the biggest congregation of people in North America, any one event. It normally is like, it feels like that way too.
Totally.
But it didn't feel as bad. And they'd shut down a street that they the main street outside the front of the convention center. They'd shut that down this time, which they didn't normally do.
Figaro.
I think it was,
Yeah.
which they never shut down.
Yeah.
Apparently it's unheard of to shut that down. But I think that helped so much
Oh,
with
yeah.
getting people around.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Well, I heard this year from a lot of people that attended that this was like one of the best AXs they've been in terms of like planning and
The booths
organization.
were crazy as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God, yeah.
Oh my
Bro,
god.
the Demon Slayer had a booth that was 2 stories high with like all of it being LEDs.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
what is this?
I
Like,
mean,
this-
the moment you walk into the main hall, you just see this like 10,
It was
15
nuts.
meter tall Luffy blow up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, God damn, they're going
also-
fucking
Yeah.
hard this year.
It was cool seeing some of the. It was it was cool. It was cool seeing the AmiAmi booth. Is like every year grew a lot.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we've been working with AmiAmi for like so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that booth was huge this year. So that's cool. It's cool
It's
seeing the go up.
actually one of the funnest thing I think we did at AX, unironically, was the Beyblade thing that we
Dude,
did.
the Beyblade thing
Oh
was so
my
sick.
God.
Can we talk about Beyblade?
Oh.
Because that like lit a fire in me that I forgot
Oh,
existed.
dude.
Dude, after I got back from AX, I held like 2 Beyblade tournaments in my house because they gave us the stadium.
Yeah, they did.
I need to go and get it from Ludwig's house.
Yeah.
Oh really?
I didn't have room in my luggage because we'd done this Beyblade sponsor,
Yeah.
which was I think we were all willing to probably just do for free.
Yeah.
it was so
Because
good.
we all just wanted to play Beyblades because Beyblade released a new Beyblade
Yeah.
system. And they had this really fucking cool thing where like they had one special like projected Beyblade where like it would do like a trail.
It was like some fucking
so sick.
Yu-Gi-Oh shit where
It was so
it
sick.
had like a hologram. So you would so the Beyblade Stadium like looks like a circle, right? And obviously
You'd let it rip.
Yeah, you'd let it rip.
It literally looks like from the anime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then
I
they
think I
had
saw someone calling it biblically accurate Beyblade.
yeah. So the stadium kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
But this version of the stadium had a projector where they had a sensor that tracked the 2 Beyblades. Maybe it could track more, I don't know. But it had tracked the 2 Beyblades that were circling around and gave them like a fucking Akira-esque trail.
yeah, like a flame
Like-
trail.
like a,
It was so
a flame
sick.
trail.
Yeah.
It was so sick.
Yeah.
And it would like tell you like the speed.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was sick, dude. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
So we all got as a gift for attending. We all got
we should do
this
that as
like
an after
box
dark.
thing.
I would love to do
Oh
that
my
as an
god!
after
Yeah.
dark. Yeah.
We also had there was a guy at that booth who I think the guys at Beyblade said he was like a professional Beyblader.
yeah.
Yeah, he like whipped out like a briefcase of Beyblades, and one of them's like titanium. titanium. I was like, why do you need a titanium Beyblade?
And he was like teaching us, being like, all right, the number one trick is to start low. Like really get your fucking waist down and make sure it's like really, he was giving us all these tips to be better bladers.
We came as like newbies, and then I think it was you that faced off against the pro, right? Or was it Joe?
The pro
and we could see the difference when he just had this fucking power stance.
You also had like a fucking gun. Like, we had like a little like plastic little thing that you have to do that. And he had like a whole like metal ass gun that he like full on ripped. Like, it felt like you could like rip that thing, like really go for it.
It was so good.
That was so fun.
We had some fans that had like some crazy ass builds. Some guy brought out a briefcase, and it was like the fucking scene from Pulp Fiction where you open up the briefcase and you could see the glow, and he's just like, which one do you want?
Yeah, it's like at the beginning of Pokemon when you pick your starter. You know? It was like that. It's like, pick your blade.
And he had like 9 different Beyblades. So I was like, what's your favorite?
And they were all like shiny and metal. I was like, what the heck?
It was actually so
I did not know that Beyblade had evolved this much into this many different iterations.
It's cool.
We're into it now.
Childhood me was, I think, would have freaked out.
Oh my God.
What future me was able to do.
Yeah, hell
to do Beyblades? That's sick.
Yeah, that was sick. I would love to get more Beyblades out.
I just need I just got to go through all like my childhood like games and go through the sponsors. I need a Pokemon one, I need a Yu-Gi-Oh one now.
Oh my God, if we could do a Yu-Gi-Oh one,
the Yu-Gi-Oh sponsor would be hype.
Oh my God, it was so hype. Please,
that'd be so cool.
I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day.
Dude.
Is the card game hard?
No,
it's gotten more. Well, I played the first generation Yu-Gi-Oh when it was still relatively simple.
Yeah, I guess I probably haven't played the new one, so I can't.
You're probably thinking of like the simple Beyblade, not Beyblade.
Well,
sorry,
I was like DX Heroes is the one, or GX Heroes, whatever it was.
Oh yeah,
so that's when I played.
I think that was the new, the newer one at the time. But like once they started introducing like fusion monsters, I was just like,
fusion. That was when I had it.
I stopped before the fusions.
And then I couldn't get like the fusions, so I had to like get the cards from China, knockoffs. So I had like knockoff Chinese versions of the Yu-Gi-Ohs that would transform, but all the names were fucking weird. Instead of being like Immortal Dragon, it would be like Sun-Kissed Dragon or something.
Right.
And like, what? And the art would look a little off. And I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, they even did that between like the Japanese and English ones. I always, because I was playing it in Japanese, obviously with my Japanese friends, so I always remember the Japanese names of the cards, which is bad because, you know, sometimes there's a reason why they changed the name of the cards because it just sounds a little bit weird in English, you know, like Dark Magician Girl is, you know, makes sense in English. In Japanese, it's Black Magician Girl. So they were like, okay, we gotta change that, you know, make it a little bit different. But Yu-Gi-Oh sponsor would be hype. We definitely have to do a Beyblade tournament for Patreon though.
I'm up. I'm ready.
So down.
I'm ready. I'm ready to build my own Beyblades, man.
I want a custom build.
We should get Chris to do Beyblading as well. That'd be fun.
God.
I should do Chris.
It's like, what is this?
What is this shit piece of plastic?
This is so stupid.
Give me a gin tonic.